I'm Joe Resinello. Is Justin Trudeau waiting for Taylor Swift to answer his tweet? Apparently so. But you're at the front line, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Joe Resinello with the front line with Joe and Joe. Once again, let us go into the breach. Justin Trudeau asked Taylor Swift on Twitter if she could add a Canadian date to her summer tour and come to the country and play a concert. A couple comments. All the things going on in Canada, and you're worried about Taylor Swift playing a concert. I did hear, though, if she does play a concert, it will be in Toronto, and Dougie Ford promises to do some crowd surfing off the stage. I did also hear that Jagmeet plays a mean sitar, and he will sit in for a couple of sets. Something to look forward to, Canada. I, for one, will be at that concert. I want you to look at this picture of Klaus Schwab. I mentioned Schwab a lot on the show, and I also mentioned the WEF, the World Economic Forum, but I wanted to show you this picture because I wanted to point out what this dude has on. How does one in their right mind walk out of their house with that outfit on? And yet, so many people listen to this guy. I mean, serious people who run governments, people who run businesses, billionaires listen to this dude. He looks like a Vulcan. Clearly, look at him. Tell me he doesn't look like a Vulcan. Put your comments in the chat. That's point one. Point two, he clearly can't be married. No woman in her right mind would let her husband walk out of the house like that. Once again, put your comments in the chat. This dude is a Vulcan. Cocaine is found in the White House. The embarrassment continues. Play the clip.
And turning to some breaking news, we have just learned that a formal lab has confirmed the suspicion that that white powdery substance found in the West Wing on Sunday was in fact positive for cocaine. The discovery led to a brief evacuation of the White House Sunday night.
Joe Resinello with the front line with Joe and Joe. Once again, let us go into the breach. Cocaine is found in the White House. The embarrassment continues. Play the clip. Couple comments. I'm not going to speculate as far as who put the cocaine in the White House, but I will say this, and I think I could say this in a fair and objective manner. If I was investigating this, and by the way, there will be no investigation, don't even expect there to be one. But if I was, there is one person I would go to first because he has a history of cocaine abuse, and that is Hunter Biden. I'm not saying he did it because a lot of unsavory people have gone into the White House over the years, but he's the first person I would look to. And I don't think that's being unfair because, again, he has a history of having a problem with cocaine. With that said, though, this is an embarrassment. And it's not the first embarrassment with regard to American politics. I can remember years ago, a mayor of Washington, D.C., Barry, was caught smoking crack cocaine, and he was elected again, caught on tape. I also could remember a congressman from New York in not too long ago, Charlie Rangel, was basically using funds inappropriately and buying real estate, abusing his power in the Dominican Republic. He got over 70% of the vote after being accused and found to be those accusations to be true. A thief, still elected. 70% of the people vote for him. Why do I bring that up? Because we're not going to vote our way out of this problem. You see, John Adams, the founding father of this country, one of the founding fathers, said this: democracy doesn't work with an amoral people. It doesn't. And that's where we're at. America needs an exorcism. You see, that's how we fix what's happening. And I'm going to tell you this. There's a lot of bickering going on, and many of the discussions are valid. But the net outcomes of all of the bickering is zero. Nothing happens. How do I know that? No matter who's in the White House, whether it's a Republican or a Democrat, look at the, what's it called? The popularity of the Congress in the various polls, Pew, Rasmussen, doesn't matter. It's like 30%. Doesn't matter. Republican, Democrat. That's the body that represents the people, the House. People don't look well upon our politicians, our servants, because they don't work for us. They work for the establishment, the uniparty together. They don't represent the people anymore. So All these little squabbles, while they're absolutely valid, the net outcomes of them are zero because we have an amoral people, hearkening back to what John Adams said, that a democracy doesn't work with an amoral people. He's spot on. So what do we have to do? Let's get to that. One, there has to be a reawakening of priorities, first principles, God, family, country. God first has to be done. That will strengthen the family, produce healthier people, mom and dad loving each other, faithful, fruitful forever. Kids coming from a loving, stable home are healthy mentally. How many mental people in this country, mental illnesses off the charts, wounded people off the charts because of broken homes? Country gets stronger. That's number one. Number two, the people have to take the country back against the uniparty, the establishment. Yes, we have disagreements. We have to put those down for a little bit. That doesn't mean we ignore them, because the net outcomes of all those disagreements, whether it's abortion, euthanasia, whether it's the border, is zero. Nothing gets done, no matter who's in the White House. Net outcome zero, because the uniparty runs the country and the people have no say. We have to get our country back. Then we can resume the discussions. So, once again, what do we have to do so people aren't doing cocaine in the White House and we have a moral country? Once again, we have to, one, go back to first principles. God, which strengthens the family, which strengthens the country. Two, the people have to take the country back from the uniparty and the establishment, because they don't represent the people anymore. We live in an oligarchy, which means it's a government of the few. The people have no say. And once we get our country back, then we can have those discussions in a civil manner, open, all ideas discussed civilly. We're an unhealthy country, and an amoral people function in an amoral fashion and elect amoral leadership. That's why cocaine's in the White House, and that's why we're not going to vote our way out of this problem in America. Pierre Poilievre says there's not enough doctors in Canada. He has a plan. Play the clip.
Here we are today with a doctor shortage, but yet the 19,000 foreign-trained doctors are banned from working. When they apply, they're run in circles by provincial gatekeepers that do years of study into the history of every single foreign-trained graduate. It's so bad that it's not just affecting immigrants. I recently met a young lady from Montreal who had to go to Ireland to get into med school because there were no places in Quebec. When she graduated, they wouldn't let her do a residency in Quebec, so she went to California.
Trudeau says people are looking to Canada. Really? They want to come to Canada. Really? Play the clip.
Happy Canada Day! Bonne fête du Canada! Throughout history, people have looked to Canada as an amazing place, but increasingly now, people are coming to Canada to proudly call it their home and build their lives and our communities and our country all together. Des gens du monde entier se joignent à notre pays parce qu'ils adhèrent à nos idéaux et nos ambitions. I think of Kamali Powell of Rainbow Railroad, who was born and raised in Canada by Jamaican-born parents. Kamali now works to help 2S LGBTQI+ refugees escape violence and persecution around the world and brings them to safety here in Canada.
Listening to that speech, I have to be honest, pride just wells up in my chest. It makes me want to sing, "Oh, Canada." $20. What's the capital of Canada? Play the clip.
For $5, what's the capital of Canada?
Montreal.
For $10, what's the capital of Canada?
Montreal.
For $15, what's the capital of Canada?
I have no idea.
For $20, what's the capital of Canada?
Ontario.
For $25, what's the capital of Canada?
E.
For $30, what's the capital of Canada?
Toronto.
For $35, what's the capital of Canada?
Sorry.
No. For $40, what's the capital of Canada?
Toronto.
For $45, what's the capital of Canada?
Quebec.
For $50, what's the capital of Canada? For $55, what's the capital of Canada?
Quebec.
For $60, what's the capital of Canada?
Quebec.
For $65, what's the capital of Canada?
Montreal.
For $70, what's the capital of Canada?
I don't know.
For $75, what's the capital of Canada?
Ottawa.
Correct. $75, my man.
Trudeau has killed the golden goose in Canada. Play the clip.
Canadians are taxed at 53% before a 13% VAT tax. Think about what that does. It gets you to 66%. Then add on carbon tax, add on real estate tax, which you pay after tax, add on gas tax. You get to 70% tax. It's the most uncompetitive tax jurisdiction in North America, and the capital's all moved away. And all Trudeau knows how to do is say, let's tax some more. But he's killed the golden goose of Canada. 42 million a day is lost in Canadian revenues because we can't build a pipeline. Think about that. $42 million a day. That's Morneau, that's Trudeau, that's the incompetency of an administration that doesn't understand the infrastructure in Canada and how it works. It's imperative that we get new leadership. It's absolutely imperative. Now, the good news is I'm staying in touch with the numbers coming out of Quebec, which is really where you determine who gets a majority mandate and not. Quebec is slowly leaning against Trudeau because I guess they're looking at him saying, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. And you would think he had almost 70 or 80% of the votes there. We'd help him find a job somewhere else. This guy has to find a real job somewhere one day because it's not running Canada.
I do hear that you Canadians dig your geese. Is it goose? Is it geese? Is it gaggle of gooses? Either way, Trudeau killed them all. Pierre Poilievre shaking hands and kissing babies. He's traveling Canada. Here he is in a pub, McNiven's Pub. See, that's no pub I would be in. Why? People have too many damn teeth in that pub, for crying out loud. People should be eating pickled eggs and drinking Miller Lite. To all my Canadian American friends, if you like what we do on the front line, I'm asking you to give $1. Just $1. Production costs money. We do it for you. We are self-funded, and $1 goes a long way. That's less than a cup of coffee. In Canada, a cup of coffee might cost $5, so you're getting off easy. Please, just give us $1, and we'll keep the content coming your way. God bless you, and remember, stay free.